The secret to changing your life is in your intentions. Wishing, hoping, and goal setting cannot accomplish change without intention. What is needed is a shift from the inert energy of wanting to the active energy of doing and intention. Wayne Dyer. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. What in your life have you been intentional about? When I was a kid, I grew up in a small town in the South where there was a black pool and a white pool. Mind you, that was not very long ago. It was in the 80s. My mom would never take me to the pool because a family friend's daughter had drowned and she wanted to keep me safe. I never felt comfortable going to a college pool party ever because guys love to throw the girls in to the pool. And well, I couldn't swim. So in the mode of self-preservation, I simply did not go to the parties. I did not learn to swim until I was an adult. I set an intention when I was younger that my kids would learn to swim very young. Our daughter, Imana, started her swimming journey in a pool at 6 months, taking a survival infant swim class. This course was expensive and required us to take her to lessons every morning for 3 to 4 weeks. It is honestly a bit of a blur 12 years later, but I do recall it was Monday through Friday for just 30 minutes, and it was a minimum of 3 weeks, maybe 4. Part of me thinks 6, but Ethan said no. When I reminded Ethan of this recently, he made the comment that this was the definition of hell because it was super early and it was a pool with a whole bunch of crying babies. They did not like it, not one little bit. We celebrated Imana's first birthday next to the pool that we had built in our backyard. She is very comfortable around water, and she and her brother are growing up differently than I did in this respect. They are both quite comfortable jumping in, though I still have some rules about adult presence and things like that. They are super, super comfortable around the pool and around water. I thought about this intentionality this past summer when Imana was swimming laps in a hotel pool in Cairo, Egypt, right next to the Great Pyramid of Giza. I also had the thought many years ago that I wanted to travel with my kids around the world, give them experience and real life knowledge that I never had. I set this intention when I met my friend Megan in 6th grade. Megan had been traveling with her family her entire life and landed in our small town. I grew up cheering with her and sharing many of the same classes. I remember specifically when we were studying in Russia, she spoke about the Kremlin and Red Square from the perspective of her actually being there. That was so powerful to me. And at that moment, I knew that that was something that I wanted for my children in the future. I was also intentional for most of my life around studying and doing my best in school. I loved making A's and honor roll. I loved the publicity we got in our small town. When you made honor roll, your name got printed in the paper. I liked the feeling around studying with the intention of doing well. And though Bill Cosby may be a bad word to some, his creativity changed my life. The Cosby Show and A Different World gave me a look into college life and allowed me to see people of color being successful, sending their kids off to college and living a very nice life. I knew I wanted to create a life that would allow me to do the same for my kids and have them grow up with many of the opportunities that I did not have. Now, don't get me wrong. I had a nice life. We did not have a lot of money, but we had lots of love and a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house that was well maintained, warm and happy. We did not have central air, so the southern summers were hot. Are you intentional about creating the life that you want, creating the type of business you want that serves the people you want to serve as well as enhance your life? We only get one life on this earth, as far as we know anyway. You deserve to create and live the life you want. To do that, we must set our intention. Setting goals to accomplish the dreams and life you desire does and will require energy. There are a few things we have to come to grips with when we set our intention to accomplish something. First, there is going to be a sacrifice of time. Ethan and I put in a lot of time driving Imana back and forth to swimming lessons. The place was at least 25 minutes away, coming and going. And did I mention it was really early in the morning? Secondly, it may be uncomfortable for a bit. To grow our business to where it is now, there was a lot of late nights and early mornings. Working out is more often than not extremely uncomfortable for me. But if I want to stay fit and intentionally look a certain way, look my best, feel my best, I have to get my heart rate up. I have to push myself. I have to be a little bit uncomfortable for a period of time. Also, you may have to let go of some things. I still to this day don't watch a lot of TV. I have a small selection of shows, but I have no idea what it feels like to come home and just plop down on the couch for 3 or 4 hours of Netflix and chill. I just don't have a clue what that feels like. And perhaps I'm missing out on something. But because I have intentionality set around the things that I want to achieve, the life that I want to live, I have to sacrifice some things, TV being one of them, to get to that point. Now, don't get me wrong. We still have fun in this family. We have movie nights. Occasionally, as we eat dinner, we'll watch some Marvel show that's 30 minutes or 45 minutes. We love to travel, so that's a lot of fun for us. But just sitting down watching TV for a large number of hours is something I had to give up if I wanted to grow my business, if I wanted to be able to have the life that I wanted to ultimately lead. I want to share this with you because if you are just beginning to grow your business, or if you're like me and have been in it for a bit but still have new goals, you have to set the intention on where you want to be. Then you have to set the goals and write the vision for your team so you can get there. You don't just hop on a train or plane and hope that it takes you to your destination. You intentionally buy a ticket to go to LA, Japan, or wherever you want to land. We're in the last quarter of 2022. Have you set any intentions for how you want to finish up this year? If you have not, take a moment to give it some thought. And I'm going to leave you with a few steps to doing this. Step 1, start by envisioning what you want the end of the year to look like for yourself. 2, write it down. I suggest using a journal, or if you have a Become Your Own Boss planner, write it in there for this quarter. 3, write down the steps you need to take to make it happen. 4, break those steps down into tasks over the next few weeks. And 5, complete each task. You can do these same steps for longer-term goals you want to accomplish also. I love the quote at the top of this episode because we all have wants. We, of course, all have needs. But when it comes to getting those things, being intentional around those things, we have to have energy, put energy behind the doing, and be intentional in the doing. And when I say things, I'm not necessarily talking about physical things. It could be the lifestyle you want to lead when it comes to your health, or how much revenue you want your business to make. It could be how you want to buy organic food. It's completely up to you what that intentionality is set around. If you're in a place where you can write, after this episode ends, take a moment to write down what you would like the end of this year to look like for you and your family. Write those things down so you can be intentional about getting them done. Thank you so much for listening today. Join me on Instagram at Become Your Own Boss Podcast for daily tips and inspiration around starting and growing your business. Also, take a moment to rate and leave a review for the podcast. Take a moment to be intentional around sharing the Become Your Own Boss podcast with a friend or family member, someone who you know may want to start a business or grow a business. Share this podcast with them. Now is the time. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss.